Hey, welcome to the last part of the course. In this lesson, we'll be learning how to pose our model. Before starting, we need to merge all the elements. So, go to Subtool and press Merge Down, then press OK. Now that all the elements are merged and separated by different polygroups, we are going to use masks and the lasso option and select the area we want to move and work with. Then we are going to use the transpose tool and we are going to place the axis in a point and move it. In this case, once we've set the symmetry, we are going to rotate the head. And guys, these are the basics when posing our model. It's true that many professionals apply it before coloring and using alphas so that protuberances and imperfections of the mesh can be solved before coloring. However, in our case, we've done it the other way around, but it's completely up to you. As you can see, when we rotate the head, there are some imperfections there. So we might need to rectify color or any other imperfection, but we are going to do it later on. And these are just tiny details that can be solved easily. And now we are going to do the same for the ball. I'm going to create a mask and then rotate the ball. This is really useful because it will let us animate our dinosaur. In case it's necessary, we can turn the lasso option off and use the mask with a normal brush. For example, I'm going to use the dots brush and paint this area over here. We can also delete if we need it. It's important that we are careful and pay attention to details so that we can get a good result regarding the pose. So let's invert the mask and use transpose to rotate this ball. We are going to rotate first the type and then the inferior part. Okay, I'm going to use the front view to adjust this part. So guys, we can use images of dinosaurs as a reference when posing the model, since they are really useful. Obviously, we are going to bend the knee and the ball, so that it seems more natural. Okay, let's select and drag. And now we are going to invert mask. Now we are going to rotate the ball a little bit, like this. Okay, I think the ball is fine like this. Anyway, the time you spend posing the model is up to you and it depends on your skills and what you want to do. Okay, I'll do it quickly, and when I start posing the tail with move, I'm going to slow down. As you can see, it gets harder with the folds and lines, since the mesh stretches when I rotate the limb. See? Don't worry, since we'll solve it later. Now we are going to select the body and rotate it. For the tail, as I said, we are going to use Move Topological. We could create a mask so that we don't modify other parts, but as it's separated enough, it won't be necessary. So I'll use Move Topological to move the tail and animate it so that it's not that symmetrical. Okay, what else do we need to modify? Okay, perhaps we could work with the tongue, so let's move it a little bit so it's a kind of displaced. Let's see how I can work with it. Also, the mouth is too open, so I'm going to insert a mask here and invert it to close it a little bit. You can pose it as you prefer, or maybe you can use another software to animate it if you want. Okay, I'll do this part quickly. What we are going to do now is finishing posing the dinosaur and correcting all the imperfections that appeared after posing. For example, I'm going to rotate the paws another bit, but in your case it might depend on the position of your dinosaur. Once we finish, we are going to optimize the model. So, let's duplicate it as we did before, and pick up one of them and select Set Remeasure to lower the number of polygons. Remember, the one with fewer polygons first and the other in the second place. Okay, so let's put this one here in the first place. And then we just need to press Project All, then click Yes and wait. And repeat the same process with the other elements. So divide and then Project All to copy all the details to the model with fewer polygons. Again, subdivide and Project All. It's possible that in those models with a high number of polygons, the computer works slow, but don't worry, just wait. Okay, another subdivision and Project All. Right, so once it's optimized, we are going to select the old model and delete it. As you can see, we have now many subdivisions which will allow us to export UV maps easier. Well, the polygroups have disappeared, as you might notice, so to create them again, we are going to use the mask, drag and select the area, and then press Group Masked. As I just said, these new polygroups we are creating will be very useful when creating UV maps. In this case, it's only necessary to separate into the head, the paws, and the tail. But in case we were doing a more professional job, we would need to be more careful. Okay, once we've separated all, let's go to Plugin, then UV Master and press Work on Clone. By doing this, we are going to create a clone with a small number of polygons. So, go again to Plugin and drag it to the lateral panel. Now, we are going to turn symmetry off. Okay, it's activated now, so turn it off. And now we click Polygroups and activate Unwrap to load the seams of the polygroups we made before. To verify this, let's press check seams, and now we can see the seams. After, if we press flatter, we can check the mesh. Obviously, we can do more things, but I think it's fine for this illustration. Let's press copy and go back to the old model. Now press paste and paste it. So the UVs are already pasted. The next step will be going to this menu. Okay, over here. Now go to texture map, press create, and then new from polypaint. We are going to clone this texture. To do so, we'll go to the texture panel where we are going to find it. Now we click on export and save the texture using the name we want. Then we save it as a PNG file. Now we are going to lower the number of polygons to 1 to get the rest of the UV maps. Press in this case displacement mapped and click on create and export map. Name it and save it with the default settings. We are going to create a normal map as well. So click on normal map and click on clone. Then go to texture panel and press export. Again, name it and save keeping the default settings. Great. We can now use a high subdivision level. The UV maps are already exported. Here we are going to find the normal UV, the displacement map, and the color map as well. Make sure that all the textures are in the same position, since sometimes they appear upside down. So once it's been exported, we can use this model and go to Tool, which is here, press All and continue. We are going to export this model to a 3D software, and in my case I'm using Cinema 4D. So with this button we are going to export directly to the software we are using and with the textures. So what I'm going to do now is activating the displacement map. So we'll need to go to Material Editor and select the displacement map. As you can see, normal is already checked. So click on it to load it from the computer. Follow the same steps in case you have a mesh or 3D. So the model is already exported. So this is the work we've done, and now what I'm going to do is showing you the final model so that you can see the result. And here it goes. This is the final dinosaur. Amazing, right? I've done it with key shots, but you can export it to any 3D software to work with the textures and light effects, and also to add more details. You can also decide if you want to add a background or not. Obviously, the more you work with the image, the more detailed and real it will seem later. Apart from this, I've done another model that I'm going to show you, this one. This model isn't posing, but the colors are different. You can also create different models to keep practicing. So guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this course and see you in the next one. Guys, don't forget to practice and bye!